Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of crop circles and their deep connection to sacred geometry. Have you ever gazed at these intricate designs and wondered about their meaning? Well, join me on this journey as we explore the mystical symbolic meanings behind these stunning formations and how they resonate with our own spiritual journeys. So what are crop circles? Crop circles are intricate patterns that appear overnight, often with no clear explanations. Some see them as mere hoaxes, while others believe they are messages from a higher consciousness. Regardless of their origins, this design captures the imagination and invite us to explore their deeper meanings. Crop circles aren't just random shapes or pranks, at least not always. These large, elaborate designs appear mysteriously in fields, often overnight, and feature an astonishing level of geometric precision. While some dismiss them as hoaxes, others believe this formation could be trying to tell us something. The patterns in crop circles are often mathematically precise and aligned with sacred geometry principles. Shapes like spirals, circles, triangles, and even fractals are common. These formations aren't just aesthetically pleasing, they carry a deeper meaning, pointing us to truth about the nature of the universe. Sacred geometry is the study of geometric shapes and patterns that are believed to hold deeper spiritual meaning. These patterns, like the flower of life, the Metatron's cube, and Versailles Pisces, have been revered across ancient cultures, reminding us of the universal truths. Beyond their mesmerizing beauty, crop circles are also served as a powerful tool for spiritual awakening, prompting us to think beyond the physical world and consider the spiritual dimension of existence. Sacred geometry is thought to encode the fundamental principles of life, from the pattern of growth in plants to the orbit of the planet. The Fibonacci sequence can be found in the arrangement of leaves, the branching of trees, and the spirals of shells. The golden ratio, closely related to the Fibonacci sequence, is also present in many biological structures, such as flower petals, seeds, and even the human body. These mathematical patterns are the most efficient way for nature to grow and thrive. The golden ratios allows for optimal packing and growth, ensuring that plants receive the maximum sunlight, nutrients, and space. Sacred geometry is also evident in the movement of the stars and planets. The path the planets follow as they orbit the sun often align with geometric patterns. The ancient Greeks, particularly Pythagoras, recognized this cosmic order and coined the term harmony of the spheres to describe the proportional relationships between the planet and the solar system. This idea reflects the belief that the universe is organized according to mathematical laws, creating a cosmic harmony that mirror the patterns of sacred geometry. Unfortunately, modern societies has moved away from the wisdom of sacred geometry. As technology advances and life becomes more fast-paced, we tend to focus more on external distractions and less on the deeper spiritual truths that once guided our ancestors. The connections between nature, the cosmos, and spiritual understanding has become less prominent in our modern lives. This is reflected in how we approach the world around us. We have become disconnected from nature, from the rhythms of life, and even from our own inner spirituality. The ancient wisdom encoded in sacred geometry was deeply integrated into the spiritual and everyday lives of early civilizations. They saw the divine in everything, recognizing the sacredness of the natural world and understanding that the same principle that guided the growth of the flowers also governed the movement of the stars. In other words, geometry reflects the divine plan, the sacred order that governs all of creation. We can even take this one step further and think of sacred geometry as the visible representation of the underlying energy fields that permeate all of life. In other words, these patterns aren't just symbolic, they represent the structure of the invisible energy fields that give rise to the physical world. The idea is that everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxies, is made of energy. This energy follows specific laws and patterns which are expressed in geometric forms. So when we look at a sacred geometry pattern, we are essentially seeing the blueprint of how the energy moves, flows, and organizes itself. The shapes and ratios in sacred geometry correspond to vibrations, frequencies, and energy that are invisible to the naked eye but present in all things. When these energy fields reach a certain resonance or vibration, they manifest as physical forms that we can perceive. Whether it's the structure of a snowflake, a nautical shell, or a galaxy. So when we observe a sacred geometry pattern, we are engaging with the energy fields it represents. Even if we are not aware of it, our subconscious mind and energy body recognize these patterns because, in a sense, it is encoded in our DNA. The symmetrical, harmonious forms of sacred geometry can influence our own energy, creating a sense of balance, harmony, and alignment within us. It's similar to the way meditative mandalas or yantras are used in spiritual practices. They are geometric representation meant to focus the mind and tune into the underlying cosmic order. Sacred geometry resonates with our energy on a subtle level, often including a feeling of peace or a shift in consciousness. Think of this like how your phone would scan a barcode. When we look at the barcode, it makes no sense to us what it's trying to communicate. However, our phone can decipher its message and present the information to us in a more meaningful way. So when we observe a sacred geometry patterns, it's essentially like scanning a barcode. Our subconscious minds instantly recognize the energy it represents, even if our conscious senses don't fully grasp it. Just as scanning a barcode pulls up all the necessary data in an instant, these geometric forms unlock something deep within ourselves. They resonate with our natural, inherent frequency of our true self, gently guiding our body and mind back into alignment. In the chaos of daily life, we often drift away from our inner truth, the essence of who we truly are. These sacred patterns act as a subtle tuning fork, helping us recalibrate and restore balance, harmony, and clarity. Today, while we still recognize the patterns, we have largely lost sight of their spiritual significance. We see the golden ratios in design or marvel at the beauty of nature, but we rarely consider the deeper implications that these patterns reflect the harmony of the universe and our place within it. In many ways, we have forgotten that life itself is structured around these sacred principles, and by doing so, we have distanced ourselves from the understanding that we are a part of something greater. Being reminders of the sacred geometry embedded in life patterns can help us reconnect with nature and the cosmos on a deeper level. When we acknowledge that the same principle that shape a tree growth also guide the movements of the planet, we begin to see ourselves as part of the grand cosmic design. This realization fosters a sense of unity with the world around us, helping us feel more grounded and connected to the natural world. Many of us often find ourselves marvel at the beautiful and precise patterns found in sacred geometry, but it can feel a little abstract when faced with the complexities and chaos of everyday life. The key is to integrate this universal order into practical, actionable steps. When used correctly, sacred geometry can help with healing, manifestation, and spiritual growth. Sacred geometry shows us that all things, even seemingly chaotic at times, follow a pattern or structure. Chaos often feels overwhelming because we lose sight of the larger patterns at play. By applying the principle of sacred geometry, we can train ourselves to recognize the underlying patterns in our lives. Just as the planets move in orbit, our life moves in cycle, periods of growth, stillness, and change. So instead of resisting chaos, try to observe the patterns of events in our lives. Often what feels chaotic is just one phase of a natural cycle. Simply acknowledging this can bring a sense of peace in the midst of turmoil. So trust that life is unfolding as it should, even when it feels chaotic. And release control where possible to focus on flow rather than resistance. Trust that challenges are part of the greater order and that growth often comes from navigating chaos. Just as the planet orbits in perfect harmony, your life follows its own rhythms. Since sacred geometry is built on symmetrical, harmonious patterns that are optimized for growth, we can apply these same principles to our daily lives in small but powerful ways. Sacred geometry reminds us that everything is interconnected. If one area of life is out of harmony, it often affects the others. Therefore, we need to get into the habits of daily reflection, to look at areas of our lives that feel out of balance and make the necessary adjustment to restore balance. The universe also operates on cycles of action and rest. For example, day and night and seasons. We can incorporate the same principle into our lives by ensuring we balance productivity with rest. Overworking ourselves can disrupt our own harmony. Just as the geometric designs of sacred geometry are clear and structured, our environment should reflect simplicity and order. Simple things like clearing the clutter in our living space and our mind can bring a sense of clarity and peace into our life. Sacred geometry teaches us that there is harmony in the seen and unseen, the material and the spiritual. Applying this idea means striving for balance between our inner world, which means our thoughts, emotion, and spirit, and our outer world, which are our actions and environment. Regular mindfulness or meditation can help us cultivate inner balance, allowing us to approach external chaos with a calm mind. By being mindful of and aligning our thoughts and emotion with universal principles, we can bring order to our internal chaos, which drives our outer actions. Practicing mindfulness would also lead to living with intention, which means only make decisions that align with our deeper purpose, whether it's choosing how we spend our time or how we interact with others. We need to make sure our action reflects the values of harmony, balance, and most importantly, our true desires. So the next time you marvel at a pattern in nature or a crop circle, remember, you are not just looking at geometric shapes. You are looking at the cosmic blueprint and are engaged with the very fabric of existence.